No. Hello, buongiorno, buonasera, buon pomeriggio, good evening, good afternoon. Hi, Emanuele, because today Emanuele is our expert, our host, not our host, our guest, actually. I'm the host. But today is definitely going to be a sort of, how can I say, a very out of the box session, because we are moving into the drone business, drone sector, drone industry. And Emanuele, by the way, is a drone expert, but more specifically, even before introducing you to Emanuele, Emanuele is dealing with geospatial technology. Now, we've been knowing each other for a few years. And back then, actually, Emanuele, I didn't know anything about geospatial technology. And now I know a little bit, because now we become friends and now we talk a little bit more. But before introducing Emanuele, can you tell us a little bit more what ultimately geospatial technology is?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome,
As
by
a
the way.
matter of fact, the geospatial technology is the technology challenge to find and to know where we are standing in this planet, and to represent our position and the position of everything surrounding us in this world. So we are, how we say, we are focused in representing the real world in a three-dimensional digital and virtual copy. We create a virtual copy of the world from where we can extract the information that we need for our business, for our daily life.
Various
That's it.
activities, right? Right. Okay. Now it's time to very quickly introduce Emanuele to everyone. Now, Emanuele is a first-class mentor for professionals in the drone industry. Essentially, is an ambassador and is acting worldwide to help anyone, essentially, who wants to run a business based on drones. And he's the CEO of Drone to Business. I guess the name says it all. So, first of all, again, welcome. And but let's dig in a little bit more, and let's try to find a sort of connection between your business, so drone technology and drone industry, with hospitality industry, because even though you and I are friends, we talk a lot about it, but I'm still very much confused most of the times. So, Emanuele, what drones have to do with hotels and hospitality, in your opinion?
Actually, a lot.
A lot, right?
Thank you for the short introduction, because as a matter of fact, to present 30 years of experience in the geospatial industry, working with the leading companies only, and in almost 70 countries around the world, speaking different languages, it would have been a long task and a little bit boring. So let's
Right.
keep this apart.
And
And
let's
we
dig in into the
concentrate
topic.
in our issue. As a matter of fact, drone is how can I say, drone for the civilian usage appear is little time.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, it immediately appealed our dream, our hidden wish that Icaro started a long time ago to fly. And as a matter of fact, it had an incredible popularity, because everybody wanted to move out of the 2D world tied to Earth and be free in the sky. And this is where started, incidentally, due to a bad situation, that is the earthquake in Haiti, where the mapping of the whole situation was done in a couple of days, right after the happening. And was surprising everybody, because mapping at that time would have requested satellite images, would have requested aerial airplanes,
Right.
and a lot of time to plan it. With the drone, it was done just in a few days, and everybody said, "Well, what is that? What is happening?" And from then, the drone started an incredible journey, and it is a disrupting technology, starting from the reducing of cost of the initial mapping requirement to the opportunity to create business, create solution. And that is the disruption of a drone, and the drone is introducing. And from that map, a lot of work was done to make the drone suitable for at least the mapping requirement. Sorry, and representing nowadays the 3D world in a very and accurate way. And
So what are drones today, essentially?
going through, there is an interesting slide that is represented this 3D world, the next.
There it is.
And you see, if we are in small areas, if we are in a situation that are limited, of course, not the whole country, we can really achieve incredible, good and accurate situation. So this is a 3D representation of a town, and that is just to show the quality that the drone technology has reached, thanks to this disrupting capability of everybody implement a solution. So the whole world, we are 8 billion in this world, no? And anybody is now able to provide, thanks to communication, thanks to connection, to present his solution to the world. And imagine now, your hotel is somewhere there, maybe the last floor of that building. Look at what the drone made just to present your hotel.
Exactly. It's a sort of, already a presentation, right? You said it right.
And it's funny to say that this complex representation is made in one format that is very strange, but that format is opened directly from Windows. So imagine that somebody made a representation of your hotel like it is now, and then you send a file to anybody show. They just have a Windows 10, they click and they have your 3D representation. But actually, that is to say that the drone has grown thanks to this disruption technology and the capability of everybody to develop his solution through the study or the ideas. And thanks to the Industrial Revolution 4.0 that when started 4 years ago, correct? 5 years ago. The Industrial Revolution 4.0, I think is on the next slide, maybe we talk about.
Okay, sorry.
And no, that is okay. That I was telling that from mapping.
There it is.
Okay.
I couldn't see.
Okay, nevertheless, go back to our idea is from mapping. That was the originally, hello, Facebook user, entered now. and it moved to other applications. And what we are used is to see somebody doing inspection. Okay, somebody doing filming, maybe, or transporting. And these are the challenges that we have learned nowadays, pretty common for the drone usage. But that is only yesterday. It's not even today. And that is the reason why the Industrial Revolution 4.0 was so important. Why? Because actually the Industrial Revolution 4.0 didn't have a special technology that made a revolution. It was a combination of all the existing technology, internet, telephone, drones, robots, artificially, all together. And create a platform for a new world to exist. And that's where we started. And that is where we are standing now. We are at the gate. We are at the gate. We have the door open. We have the technology basement done. And now we can start to implement a today and a future solution to a different world.
So let's dig in a little bit more into this technology, because now, especially when it comes to drones, now, like I said, I'm not an expert in drones. I will never be, and actually, I barely knew what drones were when we first met, like probably 3 or 4 years ago. But most of the times, what I see that drones are most times considered just those tiny little robots that people, like civilians, like you mentioned, or let's say the B2C market, let's put it this way, go to the park and they have fun. So they essentially play with drones as if it were a game, right? But this is not what we're talking about. So now we're talking about a new application of drones that may be of a great support in many different industries, and it is already a great support in many different industries. And what we're trying to figuring out is whether this application or whether future application may be applied to the hotel industry. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about, or can we dig in a little bit more into the technology of the of drones?
Yes, thank you very much for this question, because it's very important and very deep. If you follow the next slide, I have the support of the Industry 4.0, where actually we connect all these technologies. Just name one. Artificial intelligence is there. 3D printing is there.
Right.
What the drone has to do with it? The drone is entering everywhere, anywhere of this technology. And this is interesting because it's the flying hero, the extension of humans in the sky.
Right.
And to do so much that you cannot believe, because following with the slides, we enter the trend that is to create smart cities. What are smart cities? Smart cities are anything connected to the taxi that is taking the guest to your hotel, is connected to the hotel, and then is provide you with the information of the client. Internet of Things talking together. Then you have a database of clients that are where you have all the payment system, or where you have all the data of your client recorded. So when the client arrives, is already checked in, and maybe just putting one finger on top. Is just say yes, and then it's over. So when we're talking about drone, I say, yeah, but what has to do the drone? The drone is everywhere, because actually the drone able to how would I say? Let's turn it the other way around. A drone is a fly extension of a human in the sky. Okay, and is carrying any technology that the human have been able to develop. Filming was the first issue. Camera, we make a nice movie, and then we have an aerial view, so a different view to our property, to may use it for advertising. But also is carrying issues. For instance, one discussion that is ongoing now is to regulate the air, the space, the air between 50 and 150 meter elevation, to create the highways of drones. And when that will be over, post will send you the parcel through drones.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have as a private person or as a hotel, the facility to receive this. Even Amazon will be there sending any parcel to you through drones. And but what I want to say is that the drone is carrying any technology that we are developing and is using it. For instance, sensor to capture information. So I'm a big hotel with a large property, and I want to survey that nobody enter my property. And then the drone can do this through thermal imagery, for instance.
Right.
So
Security. Sure.
is censoring if anybody with that temperature enters my property.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, there is a huge technology made to censor if you are attacked by drones.
Mm-hmm.
And then we enter the security issue. So imagine we are a very VIP hotel where only people who want to stay without have any problem of paparazzi. I don't know if in English
Sure,
correct.
privacy. Yeah, it's anyway.
And then they stay, I don't know, the way they like it. They take a sunshine naked, I don't know, or something. And then the paparazzi come with the drone. And then there is all the security against the drones. And this is a world of technology that is connected to drones. And moreover, I would say that they have sensors to collect information. Then you can use the drone for the simple filming, for simply creating a 3D representation of your place, for inspecting situations, for carrying issues, and for receiving post. But that is again only the beginning, because as a matter of fact, just look forward. And now, something fancy, that is the fact that the drone is collecting information. The information are bundled in a solution for you to get. Okay. And then maybe this information contains some privacy. So, and then the drone technology inside contains something to protect this privacy. Nowadays, information is the gold of the present situation.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because we have artificial intelligence that is evaluating data to provide solutions, something that you need to take a decision. And Sandro, stop me if I'm talking too much.
No. I'm gonna let you talk actually, because this is an argument. This is an argument that may be potentially very interesting, but there's a lot of confusion around it. And
okay, let me see if I can summarize in a sentence. What is the drone? It's a fly extension of a human in the sky. Punct. What is the drone doing? Anything that the man can think to do.
Like what?
From yeah, like what? That is a good question. Thank you. To taking something somewhere else. So imagine Amazon is taking a parcel to you, or a taxi driver, or a remote taxi, Uber, without a driver is taking
driverless.
the car.
Mm-hmm. A driverless car, okay. And what about the hospitality? Because you mentioned a couple of examples, like for safety, for example. That is one. Are there any other usages that potentially can be useful, or for which anyway drones can play a role within hospitality? So let's leave Amazon aside, all right? We don't care about Amazon.
Yeah, and before entering this question, if you allow me, I just want to point out the fact that we need dimension. We are on the gate of a new world about to be created. And this new world includes so many technology, and the drone itself is dealing with all these technologies. For instance, the security issue. So we know that to keep the data of your client, maybe you use something encrypted or this internet SSL protocol, something like this. This is almost about to be over. Because if we are going digital completely, these things are already about to be cracked somewhere, somehow. And moreover, all the database of clients, starting from the financial data, from the personal data,
sensitive data,
sensitive data, they require privacy, of course, but also at the same time confirmation. So they should be closed and at the same time open. And now that is the solution that is also implemented in the drone industry is the famous that is on the word of everybody of the blockchains. And the blockchains, as a matter of fact, is a public transaction with a lot of security that ends to a price, and the price is the cryptocurrency. So who makes a transaction using the blockchains get a reward of the cryptocurrency. The most famous one is the Bitcoin. And you see, as we are entering now another world, that is the virtual world. Even the data of your clients, all the sensitive data are entering this world. But in the mouth of everybody, Bitcoins is only an issue to make money.
Right.
But in reality, is the blockchain behind the big matter. Drones are taking care of sensitive data. Imagine the National Mapping Agency or imagine military services. They need to keep their data secret, I would say, but at the same time, they need others to validate and things like this. And that is the challenge of the blockchain. And then the blockchains open the door to the cryptocurrency, and the cryptocurrency open the door to the credit card. Visa already did it, the credit card in cryptocurrency.
Sure.
So, and this is the trend. Now, what is the trend telling us? And I come back to your question. That the new normal, how is going to be? If we expect that would be like 2, 3, 4 years ago, is impossible. The coronavirus made everything accelerating so fast, so quickly, that something that was about to be discussed 3 years ago now is reality. Think about the 5G. Think about, cryptocurrency and all these issues. Everything became normal. And then even the tourism, everybody will be willing to travel again one day. But how it is, as it was before? Not at all. I need the security. And now we start to look at future trends. I want to fly safe. I am a millionaire, or maybe I have an average, of course, not. But I want to fly safe. I want to go one place, enjoy the ocean safe. And I want to have a room that is clean, is only for me, and it has to be safe. Rooms that are drones are already existing.
Rooms, sorry, that are drones. What do you say?
Drones. Go back to the next slide. Go to see. Are already existing. So drones are an opportunity. I think I got some picture on the next slide.
Next one. No, I think it's one.
Next. So this is the blockchain, the Bitcoins and the Visa. And this is an incredible, we come back later. Next. So these are hotels that are starting somewhere in the world that are trees of rooms, and each room is a drone. And the next slide shows that these rooms are taken to the beach. Is a drone. Is a drone.
There it is.
Is a
That is
drone.
finally what I wanted to reach out to, in the sense that, okay, this is visually, even if we don't know what a drone is, even if we never thought about the drones within the hospitality industry, or actually the application of drones within the hospitality industry, I think this image, this photo says it all. And this is what we are leaning into in the next future. And the next future, as far as I can perceive, not being an expert, but also hearing from you, is just going to be tomorrow. I mean, and we're not talking about 10 years. We're just talking about tomorrow. Probably is already here, right? At least we can already imagine what is going to be. And if we can imagine it, that is what is going to be soon, right? So our hotel rooms are no longer going to be like, 4 walls and a roof, but it's just going to be a drone. And that's beautiful. I mean, beautiful or not beautiful, but that is anyway a game changer, actually. Something that that is actually what it really means. The future of hospitality is never going to be the same. Probably we are running, I don't know how to say, but we are, sometimes when we think about these kind of things, we tend to imagine these kind of things as something that will happen so far in the future. But really, you just show us something that is really going to be happening tomorrow, literally tomorrow. And I love this
Exactly.
picture. Thanks for sharing with us, because it's really, 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 I think I'm going to be, if I can use it, if you allow me to use it, I think I'm going to be using it, copying it and paste it wherever, because that's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. But also, it's what I found interesting of what you said is that it's not just about drones. Like I said, some I just feel like sometimes I like to call it like a toy, because this is how most people have in mind when things are like a toy, a flying toy. All right, it's something that you go into the park and you play with a toy, but it's actually something that is way, way, way more. Among the drone industry is something just like you explained and told us. Bitcoins, all right, or blockchains, or anyway, cryptocurrency. They are there. We probably have never thought about that kind of industry, Bitcoins, cryptocurrency, with something related to hotel industry, or the drone industry, not hotel industry, drone industry. And Bitcoins are already a reality in hospitality, all right? So it's still a very new technology, in the sense that not many hotels, for example, are still or have already embarked into this new technology, and therefore they are not yet accepting payments, for example, with Bitcoins. But there are, for example, booking engines or booking systems who allow hotels to receive them, to get payments and reservation using Bitcoins. And now you just explain us that word is so much connected to your word. It's essentially one thing, right? Internet of Things is just this. So there is no differentiation. It's just one thing. That's pretty much amazing. So, very interesting. Very interesting.
Alessandro, what we should care is not the Bitcoin, that, as a matter of fact, is the reward, the price of the whole process. The whole process is the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
And if we think about blockchain, imagine it is a countries. Let's pick up one. We are Italian. Let's pick up Italy. All the health system in Italy or anywhere in the world has to go digital. But this is very sensitive information. So how do we put the name of each person on his historic health? And that it become a blockchain process. Who does it gets at the end as a prize 1 Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And this, now imagine, this is only the health system and the tax system, and then anything that needs to be digitalized. to make paper disappearing. And the drones are in the middle. Why? Because they are creating information, so they are tight. They are creating information, they are tied to this technology to keep security. Amazing. I was dealing with geospatial for a long time. All my concern was the photographs, the imagery, and produce the map. Now I'm dealing with so many technology that I'm getting lost.
Right, right.
And this is one. But I'm not talking about Bitcoin. I'm talking about blockchain that we have to deal. And then, of course, the Bitcoin is automatically there. Or there are graphs, there are Cardano. Each of these cryptocurrency does some special work. And then the reward is the crypto token. And nevertheless, drones, again, are the extension of the human in the sky. We all have seen, what was last week, a fantastic landing of a rover over Mars. Guess what this rover was carrying along? A drone. A small helicopter that was flying to show from a different perspective a situation. Now, I know that we have to go practical somewhere somehow, but let's think, okay, what can I do a drone now physically? I can, for instance, provide imagery from a different point of view. And that I think everybody does with a small drone moving around the hotel to show the movie from a different position, from a different point of view. But then from imagery, I can create 3D data. Then the 3D representation of my situation outside and inside.
Inside, yes. I like this thing. This is a, sorry for interrupting, by the way, but I wanted to actually have a step back because we went so further. Salute. We went so further into the future, and but there is something that we can actually literally do today, because you just mentioned, okay, mapping the room. So from seeing a room, let's say a hotel room, hotel in general, and specifically even the specific room from different angles, just as if we were in the room, but I'm just sitting in front of my laptop, mobile or whatsoever, on the other side of the world, and I can see that room as if I was in the room. It's something that this drone technology can help us do. This is probably the part where I'm more familiar with, because it's something that we have already discussed and something that you have already showed me, and probably something that we might need to discuss a little bit further, maybe with the next live. But that's absolutely amazing, because imagine that you can let your user, you have a hotel, all right, you're a hotel manager, you have a beautiful hotel website, and then you are struggling at getting people getting to your hotel, all right? So they first need to see your hotel, and they need to first book your hotel. How can they get a mental picture of your hotel? Meaning, how can they start imagining and dreaming about how their experience and at your hotel is going to be like? And that is where this technology can be of a great help, because you can definitely let them visually see exactly what they're going to get. The exact room, the exact lobby, not just talking about a virtual tour like we used to have it. That's totally, all right. That is already in the past and not even the present. But literally, eventually, Emanuele, can we, not now, of course, but can we schedule another live if we can show something like tangibly, or?
That will be great, because this is a very tangible, I would say, application for hospitality or marketing presentation of the hotel, because the person can physically be in the room at his place in front of the computer. He can even measure the door if somebody has a wheelchair and maybe he's or think like, he can see what he's going to get when entering that hotel, the color, the size, everything.
And you can do that by just imagine your website, your hotel website, with a specific section there where instead of the classic and static images of your beautiful hotel rooms, you have something like that. How powerful can that be? And there is no one actually that can do that. And by the way, there is not even any other channel that can do it. I mean, it's not something that you can give along to, Booking.com or Expedia. You can only do that directly on your website. So it's also a very nice way to try to divert, actually, eventually, potentially business from the other channel. But this is very interesting. Probably this picture that we are looking at, a hotel room, a drone hotel room, probably will take a few more, if it's not tomorrow, probably a few more days, but next still week, we're not talking about even years, about eventually months.
but let me expand whatever what we were talking about. Just go back a couple of slides, because the news is from yesterday or 2 days. Once again, this is Microsoft. I think the name is Wedge or something like this. This is Microsoft that through its Azure platform will take a 3D reality to your place, and together with a representation in hologram of the person talking to the other side. This is over anybody. The new. This is amazing. We are creating virtual environment with hologram through the Microsoft Azure. It's not special. It's Microsoft operating system and web platform. This is the news of these days. And they can recreate everything for the people to interact with somebody else somewhere else in the world together. So we are heading in this direction. That is amazing.
That's crazy, mind-boggling. And by the way, thanks, because we have already spoiled that we're going to have eventually another session where maybe we will dig in a little bit more into the practical aspects, for example, of recreating with 3D maps if potentially, now you will tell me whether we can recreate a real example, but at least if we can really get tangible with what we can actually do and how we can apply this technology to the hotel industry right today, right now, right? So without waiting for months to come or years to come. But that's pretty much it, Emanuele. I really liked it, really enjoyed it. I think that these kind of things make me super excited. Yeah, tell me. Sorry, go ahead.
No, there is only one thing to say, that you and I, we're dealing with together with other issues that nothing to do with with the hotel and with the geospatial industry. But we all face, like anybody else in the world, problems when the coronavirus appeared. And then the only way to get out is to look forward.
Right.
And if somebody, I was talking to my mother, she is 95, and she was telling me how it was 50 years ago and how good was it. But that is no more possible. And then, and moreover, we are tied to technology. When the computer arrived 40 years ago, everything became faster. We had 3 industrial revolution in 1 century. And the one from the computer and the one from the digitalization, just few years after the other.
Right.
That is because the computer made everything fast, just numbers, 0, 1, to get everything correct. So everything is fast, and the connection to the world. So we can say, okay, I don't want it, and I stay out, but I have to have a plan B to promote this alternative. Or I can ride the wave and look forward. And to look forward, that is my suggestion from business people, is to open and broad as much as possible the situation and have a very big picture to then act locally. So think globally to act locally. And then you are on the right path.
Right. No, very, very nice concept, which applies definitely, especially to the hotel industry. Think globally and then act locally. And no, but it's a very good point. Actually, I think to connect to your last comment, I think that the problem of the post-COVID era is not that we don't know what is going to be, but the problem is that we cannot even imagine what it's going to be, because there are so many opportunities, so many options, so many things that are so much out of the box that we cannot even imagine. But the point is that if we can try to imagine what we want the future to be and to look like, probably we have a chance to shape it, because the possibilities, as you've shown us, are there, are really there. So we just need to take, in a way, a leap of faith, but also a sort of, okay, we don't know what we don't know, but everything can be, and we can really shape the future. And now I'm very happy about this session, because you showed us a couple of examples of just a bite, all right? So just a glimpse of what it can be, because I mean, it's so much, there is so much that can be overwhelming. But thank you again for being with us today, Emanuele. It's been very, very, very nice. Thank you for being with us also the next time, even though we have not scheduled it.
Thank you, guys. The people listening, the list here is comment is long, so we look forward. And really, thank you for this opportunity. And if I'm willing to present the side connected technology, like the one to present the 3D world of your hotel inside. This is an incredible opportunity to be different.
Right.
Because
exactly.
the issue nowadays is to be different. I am
Right.
this, okay. The other
That
one
would
the
be
same.
great. I blocked the date already in your calendar for
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
all of you. Thank you, Alessandro, for this
Thank you.
opportunity.
Ciao, Emanuele,
and
grazie mille.
keep forward.
We'll see you soon. Ciao, Emanuele, grazie. Thanks.